I was incredibly curious about how this chapter would be adapted. Even though the pacing felt a bit fast, the studio generally handled it very well. With Subaru losing his memory, we've essentially seen all his hard-earned character development get shelved in an instant. Since we've watched him grow into a mature leader, this reset actually helps the audience realize just how much he had truly evolved over time. While Subaru's memory loss was a shock for everyone, there are people who were affected much more than others: Emilia, Ram, and Julius. For a large part of Emilia's life, the only being she could call family was Puck. After Puck left, Subaru began to fill that void. Subaru became not just Emilia's knight, but someone she could entrust her life to without blinking. Therefore, Subaru losing his memory and forgetting Emilia is quite a difficult situation for her. Furthermore, despite this, instead of losing heart and being sad, Emilia takes charge and tries to boost the morale of the entire group. According to our author, he wanted to show how much Emilia has developed as a moon through this scene. However, not everyone can handle Subaru's memory loss as maturely as Emilia. After this episode, I saw many people venting hatred toward Ram. While I can understand the reason for this hatred, I honestly find it quite absurd. We've known since the start of this season that Ram is in an extremely sensitive state regarding Rem. She already had to face all sorts of difficulties on the path she took with the hope of saving her sister. I'm not even counting the pain and hardship she suffers due to not having her horn. On top of all this, the sage, who was her only hope, turned out to be a fake, and she lost her final hope. Now, the only person who remembered her sister comes out and says, "I don't remember your sister." Even if Ram doesn't show it, the fact that Subaru remembered and valued Rem was extremely important to her. In addition to this, even if she doesn't show it, she trusts Subaru to a great extent. She trusts him so much that even when she is face to face with death, she protects Subaru despite knowing she might never see her sister again. It is a very natural situation for someone who relies so much on Subaru and trusts him regarding her sister to get this angry. Moving on to Julius, it's not hard to understand why he is so upset. He lost most of the things he valued, including his name and title. When the only person in this world who remembered him also vanished, he inevitably suffered a mental breakdown. In this episode, there weren't many scenes cut from the light novel. Normally in the light novel, Subaru goes to the library with our group, and since his literacy is gone due to his memory loss, he couldn't read the books. They removed this scene. Regarding other details, in the web novel, when Subaru came to his senses, there were conversations about him coming from beyond the Great Waterfall. However, since this was removed in the light novel, we didn't see them in the anime either. My only small complaint about the episode was that the first scene where Subaru fell down the stairs was handled very hurriedly. It felt as if someone hadn't pushed him, but he had just tripped and fallen. Normally in the light novel, this part doesn't happen so fast. Subaru would look back at least a little and see someone with blue hair. However, I have no words for the second fall scene. What kind of scene was that? The scene literally had a sense of impact. Every time Subaru hit an edge, I felt his pain. Subaru, having lost his memories of Return by Death, literally lost his mind after this death. I also absolutely loved the scene where he went to Reed. Most people wondered why Reed treated Subaru this way. There's a very simple answer to this, friends, because Reed is that kind of person. He is a guy who loves bullying people he sees as weak. Similarly, many people couldn't understand why Satella appeared while Subaru was writhing on the stairs. The reason for this is Subaru talking about Return by Death. Because Subaru said, "I died and came back here" out loud, Satella appears. Since there is no one around, instead of killing Subaru, she just slaps his heart and goes back. Our group, finding Subaru in such a miserable state, takes him back to the green room for him to recover. However, it was a great act of courage for them to enter the green room in such a crowded way. For those who don't know, the green room has a capacity limit. A maximum of 4 people can be in the room at the same time. Otherwise, the spirit of the green room gets cranky. Seeing the green room so crowded in this scene, I couldn't help but wonder about this. After our group brought Subaru to this room, they chose to leave him alone, performing the most stupid and irresponsible move in the world. At this point, I want to ask, guys, with what logic are you leaving a person who has lost his memory and suffered a mental breakdown alone in that room? I want to ask if any of you have any sense at all. As a consequence, this clever decision by our group results in Subaru escaping the room and leaving the tower, and as a result, one of the rules of the tower is broken. No one can leave the tower before the exams are over. Since the rule of the tower was violated, its protector Sharla opens her Sharingan and the episode ends.